Right, hey guys, Mr. Adamson here. Today there's another Science 14 lesson, and we're going to talk about energy and efficiency. So the first thing we're going to talk about is losing energy. So when a machine is used, the machine itself will lose energy through, and there's going to be three specific things. So friction between any two moving parts that touch each other. So you guys know when you rub your hands together and it starts to get really warm, that's friction, and so energy is being lost through there. Heat. So heat is given off by the cooling system or through the exhaust, and is therefore not used for work. So within a vehicle, you're going to have exhaust coming out of your vehicle. That's giving off heat, and you're going to be losing energy actually through there. Even when your hands are rubbing together, you're going to have, it feels like it's getting warm. You're losing heat. And then the last one, poor combustion. This is only if something uses fuel. And when an engine is poorly tuned, some of the fuel is not burned but given off as smoke or carbon particles. So think of all those trucks you see when somebody stomps on it and you see that puff of blue smoke or puff of exhaust. That's poor combustion. That's losing energy there within that vehicle, and it's giving off some of the fuel without actually burning it. Now, the amount of work input is always greater than the amount of useful work output. So meaning whatever we put into a system, so however much work you put into something, and remember again, those three conditions for work, you never actually get out what you put in, because you're always going to be losing something either due to friction or to heat, or maybe poor combustion if it's a vehicle. Now, efficiency is a comparison of the work done with the energy it uses to do the work. And again, like I said, no machine is 100% efficient. The only machines that are actually 100% efficient are perpetual motion machines. But there is examples of them out there, but they really don't have a purpose yet. So purposeful machines that do work are not 100% efficient. So example, when a burner cooks food, the food being cooked does not receive all the energy put out by the burner. Some of the energy is lost as thermal energy. And I mean, that's why if you're putting your hands there, okay, just wait, so you guys can hear my son, just wait, okay? When you put your hands over a burner, you're going to feel that hot sensation. You're going to burn your hand because that's thermal energy given off there. Now, energy around the house. So energy is a way to conserve, or efficiency is a way to conserve energy and money. I mean, the more efficient you can be, the more money, hopefully, that you're going to keep in your pocket. Now, what we're going to look at is the EnerGuides labels that are on a lot of the household appliances or TVs that you buy or different machines that you buy. Now, there are four things that are displayed on this label. The annual energy consumption of the model in kilowatt hours. So right here, and you're probably like, well, what does that mean to me? When it's not the end of the world if you don't really know what this kilowatt hours per means. If you look at comparison here, then you can see for this is of similar models that use the least energy and other models that use the most energy. So the lower you are to this point down here on the scale, the better you are. Now, the energy consumption indicator, which positions the model compared to the most efficient and least efficient models in the same class. So what I just talked about here, comparing to the least energy loss or energy used compared to the most energy used. The type and capacity of models that make up this class. So you have volume in feet, so you're looking at the size of it. And then you also will have the model number down here, and that's where you can compare it to other similar models. Now, this is a very generic label right here. But I mean, again, this could be with your TV, your fridge, anything, I mean, that you may buy. Now, typical household energy, this graph shows here within your household, the heating and cooling, so your furnaces. So, I mean, it's great to put your house on a heating schedule where maybe it stays at a relatively lower temperature when you're not really needing the heat, maybe when you're gone throughout the day when you're sleeping, and then it warms up when you're out about the house. When you leave for work, it goes back down again. Okay, your water heater uses a lot of energy, so you want to make sure you're efficient in your water heater, especially if you're going to be taking long showers or a lot of baths that require a lot of heat. Refrigerators, dishwashers, washer and dryer, lighting. Okay, lighting, I was actually a little surprised that it was this low. I mean, it's really good to use incandescent bulbs, and they're very efficient. Electronics. One thing to use think about energy use and efficiency of any sort of appliance. Even if the appliance is turned off, it still actually has an energy pull from it. So when you're not using appliances, it's really good actually to fully unplug them, and then it won't pull any energy from them at all. Now this just talks about here how to go towards a sustainable society. So to reduce CO2, so carbon dioxide emissions in energy production, and enhance energy efficiency of our products, we want to make sure that we are working towards the prevention of global warming, we're conserving our resources, and we are preserving our ecosystem. So we're reducing the negative effects on air, water, and soil. And when we're conserving our resources, we're collecting products for reuse or recycling. And again, these all fit into the prevention of global warming. This here just shows energy saving climate change tips for your school. So again, if we go to the canteen, we want to make sure we're using locally grown produce, and we do a great job with our greenhouse. Okay, for yourself, maybe you could do 1 week that is vegetarian. A great way to think about being energy efficient when you're eating is the 100-mile challenge. So only consume food products that are within 100 miles of where you live. They're going to be more nutrient rich for you, and it's also more efficient and energy wise to get them to you. Transportation, if you can walk, you can ride the bus, you can bike. Waste, make sure you're using the recycle containers. At lighting, when you're not in a classroom or you don't see anybody in there, make sure the lights are turned off. Okay, heating and cooling, maybe we should turn the heating off in the winter and just all wear sweaters. Okay, office equipment, I know all the computers in the building at 10 p.m. they automatically shut down, so they're not pulling as much energy. Our school does a great thing that we have solar panels on the roof. So just different ways that you can help conserve energy. I mean, feel free to pause this slide right now and just look at different ways that maybe you could help conserve energy at home. Now this video here is just going to talk a little bit about energy efficiency and proposed ideas for the world in 2030.
Energy. We use it every day, lots of it. This shows how much energy we're using right now. In fact, at the rate we're using it, the global demand for energy from conventional sources will reach staggering heights by the year 2030, further elevating global CO2 emissions and thus having a big impact on our future climate. Today, there are 6.5 billion people in the world. In 2030, there will be 8.3 billion people. Our energy consumption will increase as the population grows, placing a greater strain on our sources and on our climate. At this rate of growth, by 2030, our demand for energy will have increased by 53%, which in turn can elevate our global CO2 emissions by 55%. Without change, will we be able to stay comfortable? Transport ourselves and our things? Protect our climate? Survive? What does the future hold? What can we depend upon to supply us with all of this extra energy? What is the most important single future source of energy? Energy efficiency. We must get more from less. Energy efficiency in all areas of life can help protect the climate. Being energy efficient in industry, mobility, and housing will offer the biggest benefits. We can become more energy efficient by optimizing our industrial manufacturing processes. Our industries often do not fully take advantage of their used materials and resources. By implementing best available technologies, by reusing industrial waste and byproducts, by optimizing processes, we can decrease the amount of energy needed to operate our factories and produce our goods that can also help us protect the climate. We can become more energy efficient by increasing the efficiency of our vehicles. The energy with which we power our vehicles burns away quickly because they are relatively heavy. By replacing heavy metal parts with lightweight plastics, by optimizing engines and fuels for higher performance, by making aerodynamic improvements, we can decrease the amount of energy needed to power our vehicles. We can become more energy efficient by optimizing the insulation of our homes. The energy we pour into our homes by heating them and cooling them often quickly seeps out. By installing super efficient thermal insulation and special plaster in the walls and ceilings, by insulating the windows, we can decrease the amount of energy needed to heat and cool homes. Energy efficiency is the most important single future source of energy. The combination of the increased efficiencies in industry, mobility, and housing would have a great impact upon our energy consumption and in turn our CO2 emissions. Just through energy efficiency, it's possible to curb our increasing energy demand to only 16% and our CO2 emissions to 11% by the year 2030. Energy efficiency is the most important single future source of energy. Get the picture? Get more from less. We already have the technologies, so be energy efficient, conserve resources, protect the climate. BASF, the chemical company.
So there's just a quick little video on energy efficiency. Hopefully you're able to take something about that, about industry, about vehicles, and about your home, and with the previous slides and notes that I had. Thanks for listening.